Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I am your host, Konrad Rogoz. Welcome to This Week in Tyranny, episode 148. It's October 5th, 2025. I got a new setup here, so I just hit record. We're going to see what happens, all right? It's going to be some trial and error, maybe. And it's different in many ways, more ways than one. I had a whole show ready with the topic and everything that is set up. I scrapped the show this morning. I decided I'm not going to talk about it because I've been seeing all kinds of videos, especially from my city, Chicago, with people in military uniforms, all kinds of organizations, people with guns, and basically military uniforms dealing with civilians in the street, just straight up dealing with people in general, violence going on. And so I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be something between one of my rants, and it's going to be also a case for armed rebellion. I did a video called The Case for Armed Rebellion. Actually, check this out. I'm going to just go to my website real quick. You should be seeing me. Hopefully this all works. I guess that's how we're going to test it, right? So here's my website, truthandlaw.com. Here's my last episode and some of my presentations. There you go. This guy right here. Not just the king at the top, the nobility, back when I had my else, the peasants. Everybody has somebody camera a little bit. And somebody this picture was crooked. So this is the way, but not bad. Didn't look bad. What is called. Put on a little bit of weight since then. That was good. So anyway, I'm gonna do something similar here, but not really all that similar because I'm not. This is a freestyle episode, right? So I don't have planned what I'm gonna say. I'm going to kind of review some of the material. As you could see, we're on Reddit over here. So I wanted to just go straight to Reddit, man, and go to the Illinois subreddit, right? So just things that are going on in my country. Of course, we're talking about the military being called in, the National Guard, and even before the National Guard gets called in, it's just general ICE immigration raids, things like that going on. So we're going to look at this and see what's going on out here, okay? Chicago, Illinois. Now, these are the cops. These are regular Chicago police. So before we even get into this, I'm going to switch it back to me, right? I'm producing my show live. So there's a big difference here right now between regular police, these people, these guys that are dealing with everyday crime and general fuckery going on in the streets, right? There's a difference between these guys now and the guys that come in with military uniforms, with assault rifles, with riot gear. They're ready to shoot rubber bullets. They got their faces covered, and they're just carrying out orders, right? We've talked for a long time about federalization of police and how it is a problem. We've talked about how no matter what government is in power, slowly and steadily, the nation goes towards militarization of police forces and towards totalitarian rule. Now, we try to tell people, hey, this is what happened with the Nazis in Germany, but people don't listen, right? People don't listen to people like me. So I go and do 147 episodes, and people just keep that. That's why I can't just do another show of just talking about regular stuff like as if we don't have military in the streets, because now we do. Now we do, especially in my city right here. So, I got people like really worried about their life, right? So this week in tyranny needs to now transition to be really boots on the ground over here, and this is the time to really be thinking about armed rebellion. I'm going to advocate for armed rebellion now. The spirit of the original Declaration of Independence. We need to take the original Declaration of Independence back, read it, and present it to the United States government. Okay? Because the United States government is treasonous, it's seditious, all that stuff you want to use, but I don't even use that language. To me, it's very basic, simple, and plain. These motherfuckers are taking people in the streets out of their homes. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what they've done. I've heard all this shit. It's like, oh, they're only going after the criminals. I've heard a lot of this shit, right? And you don't know if that's true. And I think people are just trying to fucking cope. So people are just trying to just keep going with their lives, right? They just want to make sure that everything's going to be okay next week so they can go on with their lives and watch football or whatever the fuck you do. You want to go to the beach on the weekend, so you're going to try to say don't overreact. Things aren't as bad as it seems on the news. Well, maybe it is that fucking bad when you have people with military gear dragging civilians and throwing them in the street, right? Because that's a little bit different now. By the way, before I really get rolling with that, this is not the kind of episode that you're gonna show to somebody to try to like wake your family members up, right? Or try to convert people and say, oh, look, this guy's saying reasonable things. Maybe you should take a look at anarchism or natural law, right? This is not the video you're gonna send them, but really, this is the video you should share. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not personally calling out anybody that's any of my family members or close friends, but it's gonna sound like I'm attacking some of you because all I can do is just respond to who I'm talking to. I gotta respond to what's going on around me. Don't take it personally, but that's how it is. So now to the people who are saying, don't overreact, they're trying to cause more conflict between the people and the police, the people and the military. They're just trying to get the people going against each other, divide and conquer, so don't overreact. Okay, obviously I get it, right? But this is the type of shit that happens when they militarize the police forces and they start going after the citizenry of the country. If you don't stop it right away when it's going on, then it goes further and further and further, and nobody's going to stand up for anybody, just like what happened with the Nazis taking over in Germany and then invading these countries, like my country, Poland. So what I want people to think about is, when at first the Nazi party in Germany started to go after their political opponents, you don't think the people they went after at first, you don't think they were the ones who had a criminal record or had a history of doing something subversive? You don't think they had a good reason to go after these people? Of course they had people that nobody cared about at first. That's how tyranny works. They go after the people that nobody really cares about it at first, okay? They're going to go after the people with a criminal record. Oh, guy with 3 kids got dragged out of his house and taken to El Salvador, but he did get a couple traffic tickets. I think he had a domestic violence call, so nobody's going to stand up for him, right? The water is muddy, and then nobody's a saint at the end of the day, so you could find something about anybody. But at the end of the day, these aren't this isn't. Don't people understand that all this rhetoric about MS-13 in the streets and their trafficking, they're the ones doing all the human trafficking, and MS-13 and all the gangs, and it's a war zone in Chicago? Well, some parts of Chicago can be a war zone, but it's obviously really like that. The violent crime in the streets is something that is an issue. It's been created to be an issue so that the government can do shit like this. Okay, the real, when they really take over, it's not going to be these guys. It's not going to be Chicago police. Why is my cursor not on the screen? You should be able to see it. I said it. There you go. These guys, these guys are nothing. This is just like what happened in Germany when the Nazis came to power. They took over the general police unit at the time and replaced it with a more aggressive one. So these guys are getting maced. They're not getting maced. They're getting tear gas. They're feeling the effects of tear gas, okay? Because they were in between apparently these more federal, immigration forces, and some people. So obviously they got tear gas as well. Now, I'm not saying these are good people. I've always been anti-police in general, in principle, okay? Because at the end of the day, they're ticketing people, they're taking their money, and these people will take orders when the time comes, and they are the people that are shooting unarmed people in the streets here and there. But also, these cops deal with a lot of bullshit. I'm from this city, man. I know that a lot of the times police get called to somebody's house. Some of these people are really, they do think of their citizens not as enemies, the people that they're dealing with on an everyday basis. But I don't know, they're trying to do their best to keep the peace. As much as I hate to even say it like that, that's the truth. Now the guys that are coming in dressed in military gear with the fucking assault rifles, they're seeing them as the enemy, they're following orders. These are the people that are going to actually kill people in the streets, okay? We're gonna see some of this treatment, what it looks like. So before we do that, I just want to outline to all the people that are saying, hey, they're only going after the bad ones, or that kind of a rhetoric. You should listen to Hitler's speeches. because they're on YouTube now. Hitler sounds way better than Donald Trump. It makes sense what he said. So these people that are carrying out these things, they're carrying out these orders, and they're going to take these people. In their minds, they have a justification. Adolf Hitler spoke way better. He said things that are like very reasonable, and that's what it looks like at first. But it's very simple what is going on. When you're dragging women in the street, when you're pointing guns at them and you're just pulling them in the cars, you think that you have the right to do it because they broke some law. At the end of the day, you're taking innocent people who are not doing anything and kidnapping them. You're taking them away, okay? The real problem with the whole immigration thing about them taking the jobs and everything is just the damn government giving them creating an uneven playing field. Now you think that Donald Trump is doing something to combat that? He's fucking not, because the affirmative action is still going on, right? None of these policies have really changed. So everything that was anti-white is going to continue to happen. It's just that they're cutting down these people now, and they're going to be just they're going to be just as shitty of a position as you, if not worse than that, right? So you're just getting fucking played, because this regime's gonna come and go, and the last one gave them all of this stuff that they were saying that it went to the migrants, and all of the cash payments, right? And they got all the luxury hotels and all this stuff. Yeah, the people throw away the citizens' money, the taxpayer money, to give it to people who can't even do anything productive with it. But the point is, they're taking your tax dollars, and now your tax dollars are paying for a military police force to go take these people away, and they're coming for you next. All of you people the whole time can't help but talk about fucking politics, including my family members. You think you're having a conversation with me, you're not. You're still talking about politics. You're not talking about morality, you're not talking about real action, because you're just trying to live your life. You're just trying to continue to do the things you're doing, when we now need to take a step forward against these people. Okay? We need to do something that is actually presenting our case for why the people should not be paying taxes to this IRS that we've been lied to over and over again. Do I have to play Donald Rumsfeld on September 10th talking about the $2.3 trillion that are missing from the U.S. government, right, the day before 9/11? Things like that being lied to again and again, and then you've got young men and women being sent to die in these wars, and they go into the military, and they go to Iraq, they go to Afghanistan, they went to Vietnam, to Korea. For what? These were all lies. And now, when the people have their money taken away, where you have to pay $100 to get some toilet paper and some olive oil at Costco, is it not time to like straight up go and present our case and actually go at them and say no to this government? And I'm talking about armed rebellion against a government that has betrayed its principles. This is no longer our government. This is just like fucking King George. Now, we don't have right now like a ready to go revolutionary force. We don't have an army. We don't have any kind of an organization. Actually, the freedom movement, like even the natural law community that I'm talking to right now, you guys still are the ones that are saying, we gotta take it easy. Don't respond to all this stuff in the streets. Obviously, it's wrong. We need to keep talking about natural law and about principles, right? So nobody here is actually thinking about an actual forward motion action against them, and that's okay. We need to set that up. We haven't developed that yet. So all I'm gonna do online is I'm just gonna make the moral case for it. Now, the actual physical, like the methods, the physical things that right now I'm prepared to do when I'm seeing troops in the streets, that's something that I'm going to discuss separately. Okay, I'm not going to discuss that on YouTube, obviously. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm ready to do. Because here's the thing, man. For me, when I'm seeing this stuff happen, people are saying, aren't you scared? Like, oh my God, like, so what? You're just going to go and resist them and get killed? Like, what about your life, I have been waiting for this my whole life. When I see that they're calling in the National Guard and they got like, they're really doing roundups and rounding up people in the streets, I'm like, finally this is happening. Because we always, if you were paying attention, you always knew this was going to happen. You knew that the tyranny was going way out of control. Way out of control with everything, not only economically, with the censorship that was online, that was everywhere during the pandemic, with the way they got you to put on masks and kept you from getting together, kept you from public gatherings. It was time back then. Then it kind of died down for a little bit. Hey, I'm the one who said this government. I said it when when there was no chance that Donald Trump was ever going to get anywhere near the presidency again after during the time where Joe Biden was president. I'm the one who was saying, hey, look out for this. There's going to be a counterattack right now. And this guy, with all of the demonization in the media, is going to get public support. He's going to look like the guy that's got the whole world against him. And he may take power, and look out, because there may be a whole right-wing authoritarianism when everybody was saying the left-wing authoritarianism. I'm the guy that said that like 6 months before the election. I'm saying this guy's gonna win. This is the way I see it. Why? Because I saw parallels with Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. When they were calling him a Nazi back in like 2016, it was a joke. I laughed at that. It was a joke. But now it actually makes sense. It actually makes sense, and it's just a cheap version. That's the other thing. Like, seriously, listen to Adolf. He made a lot of sense. No wonder the people, those fucking idiots, went and put on those uniforms and did those things that they did. It made sense emotionally, rhetorically. It made sense that they would go do this. People should know better. They have the access to information, but they don't. They don't, and they're amazed that I am ready to die for this shit when I've been waiting my whole life, man. Yeah, it's 2 days since October 3rd, the last day of the Warsaw Uprising. Speaking of this, I'm gonna look it up real quick, because think about how many Polish people are in Chicago, right? Oh, you don't see this right now because I'm typing something in. So population. I want to see the population of Poland, right? How many Polish people are there? Can't seem to find it. Well, it's going to be a couple million, right? Over 38 million people, okay? Now, how many Polish people are in the United States? This is the real-time research. 9. So it's 3% of the entire population. So a good percentage. So what about the population of Warsaw? Because the point that I'm trying to make is, if you think about like the Warsaw Uprising, which was Warsaw's population is estimated at 1,800,000. So there are more people in the United States than there's in the capital of the actual country, Poland. My point is, now, how, like, this is, well, why aren't we fighting over here? And this is the thing. People are saying you're gonna resist this whole government, you're gonna get yourself killed. It's not gonna do anything. The Warsaw Uprising did something, because in the 1944 it happened, and in 1945 the war's over. Then we have to deal with fucking 40 years of communism, because people didn't get it. The world didn't get it. All right, that's the thing. The tyranny just continued under wraps. Anyway, let's go into these videos, man, because I'm gonna lose my lose my shit thinking about this stuff, for real. Hope everybody's having a good time. Illinois subreddit. Let's see. Yes, these guys. JB Pritzker just tweeted something. They're unlawful and un-American. Yeah, sure. Now, JB Pritzker is a fucking piece of shit as well, right? This guy's a fucking clown. So, you got, again, it is the two-party divide as well. But while it was tyranny with everything that the United Nations is doing with their Agenda 21 stuff, that's tyranny, right? The tyranny with further and further going into censorship and drowning out anything that's mainstream science and mainstream medicine, right? All the stuff about the vax. But now it's just more blatant. So people should have been already rebelling then, before this administration. I was saying that, nobody's listening. But there's a thing about making a move that's so brazen and in your face, where you're gonna cause some shit to happen. You're gonna, as they say, FAFO, right? Fuck around and find out. That's all I'm saying. So I think this is a video with the woman that got shot. So right, so she was shot in her car. That's the thing. They pull over your car and then they do things like this, right? This isn't regular police. You don't see this. See, I'm getting it. I'm not quite a producer yet, right? So they pull somebody over. They don't want to open the windows. So there's all these videos of them breaking the windows. They got a baby in the car and they're breaking the windows. Now the justification is always like, well, you should have just complied. Complied, and how do you know what's gonna happen? How do you know that you're? Well, because you may be. If you're not doing anything wrong, you can't get pulled out of the car. See, this is just wrong that we've accepted this. That somebody can stop you and pull you out of the car. Okay, but we deal with it. We deal with that. That's the way policing is. Okay, fine. Now these guys, they look like military. They act like military. They don't give a fuck. This is a killing squad. This is a cartel. They should be treated like that. This is the thing. I'm not afraid to get arrested, and I'm not afraid to even go into a concentration camp. If those such things are happening, I'm gonna show you something else. I'm not sure if you were even seeing when I was typing that stuff about Poland. Okay, Witold Piłecki. This guy, he got himself locked up. He was locked up. Went into a concentration camp. I don't know if it was Auschwitz or another one. And he went there and he said, "What the fuck is going on over here? Why are people not rebelling here? There's all these people locked up, and they can overrun the guards, and they're not doing anything." So he was known as the Auschwitz volunteer. So we can do this. I'm not afraid. Like, I don't need anybody to allow me to be in their country or their house. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna make my own living, no problem. If I go to another country and I'm not making as much money, no problem. And if I get sent to a prison, great. I will mobilize those people in prison. And people just have to be willing to risk more, I think. People are not willing to just risk their basic ass lives. And I don't get it, you guys. Like, you guys have children. And when you die, which is going to be pretty soon, your son, your daughter, what are they going to know? Are you actually going to be able to... have you conveyed to them within your life what the world is about? No, you're going to go away and they're going to be like these motherfuckers in the military, or maybe not. Maybe they'll be like the ones sitting in front and protesting. At the end of the day, not offering any actual real resistance. So, for me, freedom of humanity is going away. It has been going away for a long time. And we can't just wait for the right moment to counterattack. Because look at this, a lot of the gun owners, they're the ones who are supporting this shit now. Aha, the double cross has been pulled. You guys thought that America was so powerful because of all the gun owners? The gun owners are fucking supporting the guy that's militarizing the police and saying that we're gonna find out why they call it the Department of War, you know? For me, I don't think like Trump is like the devil or something. He's just a fucking goofy WWE guy. But these people with guns have been empowered to be abusers in the streets, and they need to start catching fucking bullets. Okay, that's the truth. Now, so I don't know, man. I feel like we're all wasting our time just talking and talking and talking. Wow, we're getting like actual the Hispanic neighborhoods here in this city are starting to become devoid of their spirit because the elote man is scared to be outside. I saw that in one of these. Now this guy, I think this is a real activism right here, right? He's talking to He's talking to a Hispanic man who's in this border patrol ICE troops, right? So he's telling him like, shame on you. And this isn't a Mexican guy that came to America and tried to turn it into Mexico, because I'm not saying that I like that either. This is a fucking American. This is an American who's got the spirit of who he is, and he's standing up for free speech, and he's telling this guy, shaming this guy. Every person that's coming in here enforcing these federal mandates should be ashamed. And they need to fear the people. They don't fear them because we just want to talk. Now this is fine, mic in their face, but at the end of the day, look at this guy. This guy's a fucking clown. He should be in front of World of Warcraft. He shouldn't have a rifle in the streets and being empowered to walk with boots on the ground. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm on public property. You're going to be a movie star. You're going to be...
But see, people know their rights to a degree. They say, I'm on public property. There's a lot of people that are saying, why are you detaining him? Why are you detaining him? So you know that. The people know that. But they don't know that that the whole government is illegitimate, and that these tax dollars, they've been supporting this guy the whole time. They created this monster because that guy we should have been speaking up way more. This goes for everybody. And they don't do it until it's too late, and people won't do anything now. Okay. So look at these people. Yeah, there you go. Back up, getting in somebody's face. Oh yeah, pulling the taser on them. Now, this guy loses his cool. No wonder, because when you've got a crowd of people yelling at you, they all hate you, and you know this guy with the military outfit, he knows he's doing something shameful and immoral, but he's just following his orders, right? So I don't. It doesn't surprise me that they lose their cool and they start beating up the civilians. Because you're just a piece of garbage and you know it. But that's why, they need more than cameras in their face, these people. You could see they're just out of control, children, bullies, very dangerous people, and this is how tyranny happens. And everybody who's telling me that I'm not going to accomplish anything by resisting one or two of these guys, I don't agree with you. We're going to need to start making examples out of people. You do not fucking go into our neighborhoods. The US government has declared war on its people long before they were never for us. We've been trying to tell you, whether it's the United, and this is not just the United States government. I think the Polish people back in Poland, I think my dad and everybody else who's over there, they should do the same thing. You should formulate a declaration of independence, and whatever it is that it's going to be, state it outright. These are traitors. Traitors are against the people. They're not really cleaning the nation up. This is all bullshit. I don't care what you believe. The flag should have been burned because I love America. Burn the fucking flag. It's not your flag, it's mine. So, okay, in the Loop in downtown Chicago, you got these guys marching through the streets.
Wonderful day. It's pretty intimidating, especially for people here. I'm sure people come here.
Right, U.S. Border Patrol.
Even more intimidated.
Our top story tonight: a display of force downtown as armed federal agents walk through the Loop. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Beck.
And I'm Tamon Bradley. WGN's Bruno.
Okay, we're not going to waste our time listening to the actual news. Let's go to the Chicago subreddit, because I want you to see some of these videos. Let's see. Let's go to the first one. No video here. Well, fuck it. We're going to scroll until we find something, right?
Bro, they taking people. What the fuck? Yeah, they took a family. They took what the fuck? No, they just took them.
Hey, Stacy. Hey,
Can they just call CBD?
Yeah, it's not about a criminal record. This is another thing, right? You're talking about, oh, they had a criminal record, things like that. A lot of these people, like you, a lot of the people that are saying this, you could have had 5 DUIs that are saying this to me. You could have had a criminal record. These are people with criminal records that are saying this to me. I'm like, bro, you know we've both been arrested, right? Like you're talking about they're going after the bad ones. And then these guys who got the military helmets on, who are working for ICE, you don't think they're the ones beating up, you don't think there's rapists among them, beating up their women among them? The only reason they don't have a criminal record is because they're on the side with the real criminals, the fucking government. You know? So, anyway, that's enough of the videos, because it's not going as smoothly as I even wanted it to, okay? Let me just talk to the people and try to kind of tie some things together. Now I'm going to move on with my Sunday, man, because it's been, yeah. I've been dealing with some issues, so I'm just ranting about how I feel. Like my show, like somebody I care about told me, you know, I don't know, you're yeah, you do good work, but you're not really, I don't think you're telling people what they need to hear. Like, you know, we gotta wake up the mainstream. Some of this mainstream is they're the ones that are sitting there and protesting with a mask on, and yeah, they're libs, but they're at least trying to do something. This is the thing, right? The libtards are libtards, and the progressives have been asleep while all these changes were being brought in to completely destroy the society, right? They didn't stand up about the pesticides, the geoengineering, the surveillance, the contact tracing, and the masks, and the mandates and all this. I get it, yeah, but at least they're the type that when you got a guy with a gun in the street, they're gonna be the type that, even if it's Karen, they're gonna go and they're gonna say something. Meanwhile, these people that are pro-freedom, they're the ones who fucking sit there and just scroll on Facebook, and they just like, and they want to dunk on the libs, right? They think that this country is getting cleaned up now. So, fuck the mainstream. Fuck the mainstream. We need some people that are hardcore, who are like ready for action now, because otherwise it's going to be too late. This is the time for a mass rebellious movement, people who are ready for that. So I'm looking for whoever is ready enough for action now. And in the future, I may go back to, you know, I'm going to make an MMA channel. I'm going to talk about MMA and hockey, and just talk to the people who like sports like me, and just interject some stuff there as well. So I'm not really saying fuck you to the mainstream, but I've like done so much work and preparation for these shows, and so much, and I feel like it has no effect on people. I have a couple of people that listen to me, but even then, it's like, okay, if you're not going to be willing to die in a time where we're about to lose any kind of power, financially, economically, as far as communication wise, our ability to reach each other, this is like time for the last stand right now. And you're still trying to watch like videos on YouTube. So that's not what I'm trying to do, right? And we don't have that much time left. Yeah, I'm still young now, right? I'm not gonna be young forever, but I'm still young, and yeah. And more of these young people are ready to take some sort of action. At least they're ready to fucking protest, and they get the fucking rubber bullets shot at them. Well, I think there should be a lot of Molotovs coming back out the other way, straight up. The military better start to fear its people, but here's the problem. A lot of these people that are protesting, a lot of these libs, where the fuck were you a couple of years ago? They were supporting all of this oppression. It seemed like you were, basically we had martial law already during the pandemic, and they were cool with that. That's the thing. We got no allies. We got no allies. People are just this side is a little bit more fucked right now. And soon this whole thing with Trump and the immigration crackdowns will blow over, and we will have a fucking psycho on the other wing running the other way. And then I'm going to be talking to a different audience if I don't die before then. I'm going to be talking to a different set of people, and they're not going to be able to listen. They're not going to hear it. And they're going to say, yeah, good show, I hear what you're saying. And nothing, no action. I'm disgusted with humanity. They're, yeah. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep fighting, but I wasn't just gonna do a normal show this time. And fuck other issues right now, right? It doesn't offend you enough that there's people in uniforms with like rifles, and you've got like communities that are scared to go to work, scared to the store. If this isn't the time to kill, when is it gonna be the time to kill? Because basically, okay, that when are they gonna start putting people in cattle cars? They're putting them in pickup trucks now. Okay, this is pickup trucks and vans and taking them to temporary detention facility. Well, Auschwitz was a fucking temporary detention facility as well, and they were going after terrorists then as well, right? Until they aren't, and they're going after men, women, and children. There's no such thing as invader women and children. Fuck all that rhetoric. I think all these people that put on the military uniform, you're bitches. And I know there's a lot of good people in the military. You need to get the fuck out now. Start planning. If you guys are planning and you're gonna make your move, good. But I doubt it, because I think you guys aren't willing to risk your family's livelihood. You're not willing to risk your life. That's why you want to join an organization like this. If you got real courage, now is the time for action. Reach out to me. We're gonna be doing some shit over here, and even if it's for nothing, I'm willing to risk it. I'm gonna make an example out of myself. Otherwise, it's all fucked anyway. So, to everyone, have a beautiful Sunday. I've had so much fun talking to you. I hope the new show with the camera. Oh, my battery's about to die. I didn't even get my dummy battery. I ordered it. It's coming in 2 days. So, as the battery is on zero with my recording, the battery is on zero with humanity as well. And maybe the battery's on zero with the testosterone, with the lack of balls or lack thereof, of the American populace. This is my call for Armed Rebellion Part 2, and looking forward to Part 3 if I get a chance to do it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week on This Week in Tyranny.